Yeah, we've been preparing the game as normal as we would. I think the emotional side, um, it's difficult to predict how I'll feel walking out to a stadium that I know so well and so many people that I know so well. That's very difficult to put myself there. For the moment, we're just preparing a game as we would any other Premier League game and making sure we get our players ready for what will be a really tough game. I know from the other side, preparing a game as Bournemouth manager, it's a it's a special place to play football when it's rocking, and we need to be ready for that kind of atmosphere.
What do you make of the way things
I've been together a long time. We've been a very stable staff. And I think that consistency's really helped us because we all know each other so well. We all know how we work, what we want to deliver on the training pitch, and the messages are then consistent to the players. So we've added Graham to the group, Graham Jones, and he's
Is that something that you've always done, and how does it work?
yeah. So when we came together, we were initially a partnership, really. Although I was named manager and he was assistant manager, we were almost as one. We were learning together. We had no real experience together, although Jason had managed at Weymouth. So it really was a sort of a level partnership. Now then, as we've gone on and developed our relationship naturally, I'm thrust everywhere as the manager, and but I wouldn't say that we're invested in the transfer market. So I think this is a different Bournemouth team to the one that we've seen in previous weeks. I think they're very athletic. They've got some really good athletes in their team. There's a lot of pace now, all through the team. So I think this is a different game. I think we need to be ready.
As he seems to have divided opinion all the way through the season. How far is he off the level that we saw from him against Manchester City earlier on the season? What do you need to do to get him back to that level?
I think Maxi's someone that probably performs better with a consistent run of games, but I would say that would be the case for all.
You must see this as a really good opportunity for you to get back to winning.
I think every game is an opportunity to do that. We're desperate to win. We want momentum in our season. We don't want any kind of lull that we allow to develop in our results. We're 16 games unbeaten, 99% the same. But I do think naturally, as you manage more games and just live in the job longer, I'm talking management here, you do naturally evolve and change, and you have different ideas and different reactions to maybe the same situation that you would have faced. You might act differently as you get more experience. But I think the fundamental way in which I manage and my beliefs have always remained the same. And unless I have totally radically new ideas, I think. I've always said that financial fair play is real for us. I don't quite understand. I'm not there doing the figures and the numbers, and I don't quite understand how it fully works. I'm obviously led by the people above me at the club to say what we can and can't do.
And just on Anthony, I know it's not been your practice with new signings, but given that he knows the league, if you wanted to throw him in, is he ready to start?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll have no doubts about playing him from the off. He knows the Premier League. He knows the intensity. He's been to all the grounds. He's played for a huge club, so no worries there.
Walk out. If that's the case, how would that make you feel?
I think one thing I know from my history with the Bournemouth supporters, they always support their team and they always support the people that are employed by the club. So I've got no doubt that they'll support Gary and their players, and we need to be ready for that. Well, he's capable. He's capable of some brilliant things, and that day he was very, very good. There was no crowd. It was a really strange atmosphere that day, but I thought Newcastle were very good. Scored some good goals, made it difficult for us, and there'll be certainly a few players that played that day will be playing, so hopefully good memories for them.
Quite inspiration.
Good. Pleased to help, Craig.
It was interesting listening to your answer there when you said that your shelf life had reached expiry down at Bournemouth, and of course, we talked about that game against Newcastle. I mean, this is
crippling injuries during that season. If you look at some of the team selections that I had to put out, we were constantly playing catch up to that. So then when players did come back fit, they weren't physically fit to play at their best levels. And then COVID struck. And that took away a huge weapon of ours, which was the crowd at the stadium. And that day against Newcastle would almost epitomise that. Then we had the ghost goal against Aston Villa, which ultimately cost us relegation, because without that we would have stayed up. So, yeah, a whole host of things sort of turned against us. But I think sitting here now, I think another great learning experience for me, painful for me as well, and the club. But it's great to see Bournemouth back in the Premier League.
I didn't mean it as a compliment.
I think.
On the back of that, obviously you're unbeaten since Liverpool way back in August. Do you carry that into each game, or again is it just focusing on the one goal, getting the points?
Can only be about getting the points, and we need that mentality in all our games.
And going back to Bournemouth, you're going to get that reception, but I guess as soon as the whistle goes, it's about being in the black and white sort of dugout.
Of course it is. It's about us. It's about getting the points we need. So I can't affect the outside conditions. I can only try and affect what we're doing as a team and make sure we're as best prepared as we can. Those words, I do think it's a state of mind, even for myself. Some days when you wake up early and you're in the gym and feel a bit tired today, you think, come on, have a word with yourself. Mm-hmm. You're just telling yourself that, and instantly you feel different. And you can change your mindset and your feel with a few words, with actions, with how you stand, with how you sit. So I do agree that how sort of I speak to players and my communication with them is important, staff as well, and even their talk between themselves, because we've had a free week for this game. We've had a week to prepare. There should be no fatigue in the camp.
And just finally, your sort of motto, it's become your motto this season, not here to be liked, here to win. Is that the biggest, do you have that going around your head going back?
Early stages of their career. I think every player is different, and I think you need to communicate clearly your need or your want for them to come to you and what you can offer them, because it might be development, but it might be an opportunity to play in an incredible stadium for a massive club. So yeah, it depends what it is. Side. Yeah. So he was training as a centre half, but then playing as a left back. That was only for about a week. Very quickly we realised we need to train him in his position if he's going to play there again. So then he's been consistently training and working on his game, and I have to say, for me, he's got better and better. It does, but maybe in a different way. So I wouldn't try and coach someone to the nth degree. I'd try and look at them as a player and go, right, does 95% things brilliantly. Can we make an extra 5% in this area of his game? So I think you've got to go to the detail part. But I wouldn't be over-coaching every player. I treat players very differently depending on their needs, really.
Is it your favourite part of the job?
Without a doubt, I think that the favourite part is when you coach someone and try and add things to their game to then see that on a match day. There's just a nice sense of satisfaction that you help them produce something good. That we needed to achieve.
Look at the modern game now. Can managers still build dynasties like you did at Bournemouth? Is that what you hope to do here?
I didn't really plan to build a dynasty at Bournemouth. It just happened. We were successful enough to stay in the job, really, and you just roll from season to season with new objective, new goals. We're always open, never closed off to formations. Formations for me are just a vehicle for you to play. They're not the be all and end all in terms of I'm fixated on one. I'll be there. So I'm sort of in the same position now. I'm attacking every day, trying to be successful, trying to build something, and how long we can build that for will be really in the players' hands, really, in terms of results that we get. Yeah, possibly. I think Harrison has come to us in a good place. Again, he's trained really well. He's one that we'll work with behind the scenes. Needs to improve certain things in terms of his fitness, because I don't think he'd played a huge amount of football in the last few months.